There's a long-standing relationship between education and earnings in the United States and other parts of the world. The real question is, why is there a relationship between education and earnings? One issue, obviously, is human capital theory, that an investment in oneself, an investment in education and training should lead to higher productivity and higher earnings. However, there's a debate about this among economists and other social scientists. On the one hand, many people argue that there's a productivity effect of additional years of schooling. On the other, others argue that there's a signaling effect. So one side is suggesting that each additional year of schooling is adding to the base productivity of the worker, making them more productive in the labor market, therefore raising earnings. The other side suggests that it's a signal, in that educational institutions and others that provide degrees are in part providing a signal to employers that they're selecting the right kinds of students, the right kinds of characteristics, and employers then come to institutions of higher learning or high schools or other organizations that train and are recruiting individuals who've learned more, who've not only learned more, but are also signaling that they're productive members of the workforce. It turns out that many of the characteristics that make persons productive and do well in the classroom also lead to make one a productive a member of a workforce. Things like being on time, working hard, being organized, and the like. It's very difficult for social scientists to separate out the signaling and productivity effects of schooling, however. And the problem is that if you take a group of students who've gone on to, say, college education in a particular region or at a particular university, the alternative is what would they have done in the absence of that. So many people who graduate from some fine universities in the United States, for example, might have been high earners in the labor market even in the absence of that extra schooling. The idea is to think about how could we separate out the true causal effect of schooling on earnings, and that's the real challenge for social scientists. One method that's been used is to look at samples of schooling by twins. So twins born in the same family, obviously of the same parents, often raised together. When they get different levels of schooling, we might be able to attribute the difference in part to the productivity effects of schooling.